Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Tomorrow, and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic, we're going to talk about goals and setting goals and types of goals and all that. We're not talking about the sports goals where you get goals in hockey or goals in soccer or whatever. You know, all those sports that you get goals at. We're not talking about those. Well, those are good things if you are an athlete in one of those sports. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the goals that you can set for yourself and the goals that you want to accomplish in your life. Those are the type of goals that we're going to talk about today. Now, setting goals can be a little bit hard, especially if you don't know what you want. And for an Aspie, that might be a little bit difficult because you got to figure out what you want to do in your life. You know, what do you want to do for a job? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? You know, those things you got to set goals for, you know. And setting goals might be a little bit hard to do, but if you continue to work at them, you'll achieve them, you'll accomplish them, and you'll be more happier, you know. Now, for me, some goals in my life were tough to go through, but I managed to get through them because I worked hard for my life. I worked hard to get where I am today. Even though I'm not in the situation that I am at yet where I feel comfortable, I feel that by me setting the goals that I can set, it'll help me get into a future life, you know, or my future, you know. Setting goals now will help for the future, if you know what I mean, you know. Now, setting long-term goals can be hard. Setting short-term goals, well, you got to figure it out. How short-term do you want the goal to be? You know? How long do you want the goal to be is what I'm trying to say. You know, you got to set the goals right, and you got to set the correct time limit for that goal. Because if you don't set the time limit, then it feels like you're going to have that goal forever and forever and forever, and you're not going to get anything done, you know. But let me read you a little definition about goal setting. Goal setting ideally involves establishing specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time targeted objectives. Work on the goal setting theory suggests that it can serve as an effective tool for making progress by ensuring that participants have a clear awareness of what they must do to achieve or help achieve an objective. On a personal level, the process of setting goals allows people to specify and then work towards their own objectives, most commonly financial or career-based goals. Goal setting comprises a major component of personal development. A goal can be long-term or short-term. So basically, that's what I was trying to summarize, is that you got to make sure the length of time they have is appropriate for the goal you want to set. For example, if you want to get a college degree, you got to set that goal to a certain time limit too. Like if you want to get a college degree in 4 years, you got to work hard every single year of the 4 years to graduate. You know, let me take you let me take you into my life a little. I right after high school I went to college, right? Now, I was supposed to get an associate's degree at Hoyle Community College in GIS, Geographical Information Systems. I was supposed to get that done. When they took that program away, that goal was wiped from me. That goal was taken away from me. So the only way I could get a college degree at that time was to go to Westfield State University. Now, I only got half of my college work done from Holyoke, so basically you're looking at another couple of years and graduate. Now, I was not doing that well in college at that time, but I set my goals right. So when I first started going to Westfield State University, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to graduate in 2010. My goal was to graduate with a bachelor's degree in 2010. You know, that was my goal. Now, doing the geography and regional planning major was going to be tough. And I figured, and then by the time 2008 rolled around, it was like, are you sure am I going to get this done? Are you sure it's going to take me this time to get it done? And I wasn't feeling too sure. Then, well, the previous semester, the fall of 2007, I wasn't doing that well. And I was placed on academic probation. So, I saw the thing for Disney College Program because I went down to Disney World for that Thanksgiving. And I was asking my friend who works at Disney at the time, well, she still works at Disney. I was saying, I was asking her about the college program, and she told me about it, and I was like, maybe interesting. Because I saw the posters around this college about it. So I looked into it, and ultimately I was approved to be in the program. However, in order for me to do that program, I had to raise my GPA. And that was my goal for the spring of 2008, was to do well enough where I can get the GPA up there, get the good grades, so I could go down to Orlando, Florida and do the Disney College Program. Which, two of my classes that I had, I was about to fail them anyways, so I dropped them. And focused on the two classes that I was passing and doing well in. And you know what happened? I passed those classes. I think one of them I got an A, the other one I got a B. And I did a good job, and it raised my GPA. So I could go to Disney World for the fall of 2008. Which happened. That was a good goal of mine. Setting that for the spring semester of 2008 so I could go down to Florida for fall of 2008 was that goal that I wanted to do that. And in order for me to do that, I had to improve the grades. And that's what I did. Now, my goal at Disney World, and this might still be a goal of mine, I don't know if it still is, was to get a good job at Disney and move up with the company so I could have a better job and work for the company and be a long-term cast member. But things change, and those goals change too. So maybe I set the goal to be a Disney cast member and to be a higher up cast member, but things happened where things did not work out the way I wanted them to be, and I'm still the same cast member that I was back in 08. Now that can happen too. Don't get yourself discouraged because there's plenty of other opportunities in the world. You know? There's plenty of other jobs out there that'll look at you, and if you do a good job, sure, they'll help you career-wise. They'll help you get a promotion. They'll help you raise your money. They'll help you, you know? But yeah, going back to my original goal of me setting to graduate Westfield State University by 2010. Yes. Once my college program ended, I didn't want to go back up to Massachusetts to do that. I was offered a part-time role over at Animal Kingdom. I had to turn that down so I could go back to Massachusetts. It was a little bit tough for me to do that. It was a little bit tough for me, the feeling wise, to do that. But at the same time, I know that once I get that college degree, I can pretty much go anywhere I want for a job that accepts it. So I had to go back up north and take a few classes. And I was still trying to figure out, will I make it in time to graduate by the end of 2010? And so I'm trying to figure out now, should I add online courses to help me out, to get me to that goal that I set back in 2007. This was 2009, obviously, that we're talking about. So would I be able to take the online classes and pass them? You know? And I was able to. And then the spring of 2010, I was supposed to only take 3 courses. I was scheduled for 4. And my counselor at the time, he was asking me, which course do you not want to take? And I'm like, I want to take them both. I want to take all 4 of them. Because I knew at the time that if I didn't take all 4 of them, of the courses that I was scheduled to take, that I'd be there until 2011. I didn't want to be there until 2011. I wanted to be done by 2010. So I took all 4. I passed all 4. I barely passed one of them with a C, but you know, I passed all 4 of those courses that I took during the spring of 2010. Then came the opportunity to take courses online for the rest of my courses to get my degree. So that's what I did. Like, I took a couple during the summer and I took a couple during the fall. That way, my goal that I set earlier in my life to move down to Florida became a reality. And 2 years ago, this month, I made that goal a reality. And I moved to Florida, where I live now. Knowing that I still had courses to finish in order to get that degree, I took them online. I took 2 of them from Bristol Community in Fall River, Mass. And in addition to taking 1 more course for Westfield State, I took a course at North Dakota State University in Fargo. I took that course. All those courses were able to be transferred onto my transcript, and I passed all of my classes. So now I have that bachelor's degree. The only problem is that goal that I set earlier has finished. And I set a new goal. Well, I set a goal around 2008 anyways, to try to get a better job. Now, it's 2011, and I have it, the degree, but where's the jobs? And the economy became a problem. So, my goal for the future is to get a better job in my life. My goal is to try to get a job with Autism Speaks and try to have a career with them. Because Well, let me just say, back in 2010, I saw the thing for the kickoff party, and I went to the kickoff party. Then the next thing I know, I was asking someone to be on the committee for the walk, for the Orlando walk. Boom. I was on the committee. Now, I didn't set that goal, but however, I managed to be on the committee for the walk. You know? So I was trying to set more goals in that way. How can I be a productive person? So maybe by being on the committee for the walk, I was like, you know, learn about Autism Speaks more and work hard. And now that I'm a volunteer with Autism Speaks, let's fast forward to March of 2011. I was supposed to volunteer to be at the Palm Beach walk, but I didn't make it in time because I was not feeling that good the night before. So I only went to the walk for a little bit of time to see how it was. Now, I set a goal at that walk to come back the following year and volunteer at that walk. And to meet Bob and Suzanne Wright, who are the co-founders of Autism Speaks. Now we'll tell you how 2012 went a little bit later. But then I saw about Tampa Walk in April of 2011. And I was like, okay, since I live halfway between Orlando and Tampa, why don't I go and volunteer my time at the Tampa Walk? I did go to the Tampa Walk. And I enjoyed myself. And from me working at the Orlando Walk and now being a volunteer at the Tampa Walk, it made me decide, okay, I want to be on the Tampa Walk committee too. You know what? You know what happened later on that year? I got added to the Tampa Walk committee. And I was very proud of that. You know, setting these goals that I did makes me more of a person. When I move on in life, it helps me build up the confidence that I need to live my life, you know? If I don't have these goals, then what happened, you know? Alright, so back to the story here. After the Tampa Walk, it took a little while for the next walk to come up, obviously, because there's no walks during the summer here in Florida. So the next walk would have been September in Jacksonville. And I didn't make it to Jacksonville. I was supposed to work that day. But circumstances are I had a strained wrist, so I was not able to work. And I was thinking about going up to Jacksonville on that day, but I didn't make it because I didn't feel comfortable making it. So then, right before I was supposed to go up to Jacksonville, I was asked by the Orlando committee to speak at the kickoff party the following week. I did that. And I spoke. I gave my speech. Now, what's a coincidence is that speech, even though I didn't have it down on a script, I memorized it in my head. I was coming up with the words. You know, it was thanks to that speech that brought me onto this next venture called My Life with Asperger's. And it was like, okay, since people were not at that kickoff party, why don't I do the speech as a video on YouTube so people could understand my life, you know? And that goal was accomplished. Because people couldn't be there, and yet they could watch the speech and they could listen to me give the speech, Whereas, or if people from the kickoff party that went to it wanted to hear the speech again, they could hear it again, So basically, what I'm trying to say is that goal was short term, My goal on that was to try to do a series. So I did start my series, and I was thinking, why don't I start a series where I talk about topics and all that? And that's how my life with Asperger's became today, where I do talk about issues that go on in my life. Now, I didn't intentionally set that goal, but obviously it is a goal that I'm very thankful for, because I can spread my awareness around the world, and I can spread it, so I can spread my stories and my issues to other people that have Asperger's, other adults that have Asperger's, and parents of kids that are on the autism spectrum, So that is a goal. And since then, I have set other goals. Someday, I want to have a TV show, a weekly TV show, where I discuss about my life with Asperger's and the issues that go on, That is a goal of mine. Another goal of mine is to have a documentary where I talk about my life and show people what do I actually do. And I really wanted to emphasize that walk season, I want to show them what I do at the walks that I go to, and how hard that I work at them, I'm on those two goals. I'm negotiating now with a TV station in the state to help me bring my series into reality, where it can be shown on TV. I might have to come up with new videos, but at the same time, if I do get a series on television, and if I am successful, this TV station also broadcasts their station online, so the station can get more viewers online too. So you don't have to live in Florida to get the station. You can also live in Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, Canada, Europe, you name it. Just as long as you tune in at the right time, you can view the show online. That's my goal. And another goal of mine is to try, in addition to having that TV show, is to also try to get on TV, like HLN and whatever they do for special news segments about people living with autism, or maybe get on the radio, and tell people about my life, or even get a newspaper article done, because it is a major accomplishment if I get these goals done. And let me tell you something about another goal. That I threw out the first pitch at the Tampa Bay Rays game last week when Miami was in town, right? Now, when the committee decided that I was going to be throwing out the first pitch, my goal was to try to practice every single day to make sure I have the correct first pitch and to throw that ball so I could have the practice, and it paid off. And that was a short-term goal that I had. So now you're hearing about me setting goals, right? And I already talked about how I wanted to have a TV series or a documentary done and be on TV and tell about my story. But another goal of mine is to try to eventually get a job with Autism Speaks and try to have a career with them. Now, with me going to all these walks, like West Palm Beach, Tampa walk, Jacksonville coming up in September, Southwest Florida, I already been to that walk last year, but I'm going again this year in October. And in Volusia County, I already went to that walk last year. I'm going to that walk again in November. And in Orlando, which I'm on the committee for, and this will be my third Orlando walk that I'm on the committee for, coming up in November. You know, I set the goals right, and I go to these other walks. Maybe more people will notice me. Like, hey, he's a hard worker. He deserves to be a staff member at Autism Speaks. That is what I want to hear someday. That is my goal. By me going to all these walks, that will happen to me. You know? Someday it'll happen. I don't know if it'll happen at the Orlando office or the Miami office or Palm Beach office, but it will happen one of these days. Trust me, it will happen. I have a feeling it will because, you know, they see how hard I work. They see how hard I travel to get to these walks. Some of these walks are like 2-3 hours from home, but I still make it because I know that I'm doing a good thing here. People will commend you if you set goals like that and help people, you know? I'm very happy with the goals I've been setting for myself, you know? The other goal I have, obviously, is to lose weight and to live healthier. I'm trying to do that. But it's hard because the food I need to get is a little bit pricier than the fatty foods that you see at the supermarkets, you know? It's hard to get some of those foods sometimes because of the price. And it's hard, you know? It's hard to get the weight loss food, you know? Weight Watchers. And it can be expensive. I understand that the doctor told me that I need to lose weight. And that's another goal of mine. I'm trying to lose that weight. You know, and I'm trying to eat healthier. It's just hard, you know? But, you know, setting goals like the ones that I talked about can be done. You know? Just takes a little bit of hard work and patience and persistence and the confidence, and you'll get it done. And hey, if you're lucky enough, your dreams will come true. I'm using a slogan that Disney used. I'm sorry, but you know, that's the way life goes. I love Disney. I'm just saying. If I do have to leave Disney for another job, I want that job to be focused on my goals and to be focused on what can I do, you know? But I'm very happy with the goals I have set. I have another goal that I have set since I was like a young child. And since I learned about these United States, was I want to go to all 50 states someday. Because you know something? If I do go to every single state, I want to feel welcome, you know? That is another goal of mine. That's a lifetime goal. I don't know if I'm ever going to achieve that or not. I hope I do. But if I don't, I'll try my best to go everywhere that I can. I already been to like 22 of these states. 2 of the states I need to go into a little bit more. I'm not telling you which 2, but I need to go a little bit more than a couple of miles just to say I've been to that state. But I do want to visit all 50 states in my lifetime. And if I do have this documentary, I want to say, hey, I want to go to all these walks, or I want to go to some of these walks across the country and volunteer and work at them. You know, and meet other people. You know, that's a goal of mine. A goal of mine when I volunteer at the walks is that I want to meet other people, other parents, other adults that are on the spectrum. You know? And I know it may be hard at times to do that. But if you feel the confidence to, and if you're willing to travel, hey, you know, if you're willing to have a car and you want to travel to these other walks, go right ahead. You can do that, you know? But anyways, I hope that my goals, my lifetime goals can be set. And I hope that they can be accomplished. I know it might be a little hard to do it. But I know inside of myself that if I believe that I can do it, then I can go out there and do it. You know? And I give you that message too. If you believe and if you have the confidence to go out there and set those goals and you work hard at the goals, that you can achieve them, you know? I have done it. I have set several goals and trying to get them done. It's now your turn to do it too. So I just want to leave you on that note. Make sure you do set your goals, because if you set them and work hard at them, you'll get them all done. So, and hopefully my goals will be done too. Hopefully someday you'll see this face on TV giving advice to all the other people out there that are on the spectrum and all the parents that have their children on the spectrum, you know. So that is the way I try to set my goals, and hopefully you guys can set your goals too. I hope you guys have a good day, and remember to set those goals.